Alex Nartey, we are grateful for your time here on Newsnight. So what's the update? What do we know? You earlier mentioned that one person had been discharged from the hospital. Tell us about the rest. How many other survivors are in the hospital?
Okay, so thank you very much for having me. So in all, we had 7 people affected in the fire or the accident. We have 3 who were minors in the Jaguar. 2 of them were 16-year-old, and then 1 11-year-old female. The Acura had 4 people in the vehicle, and so the driver, fortunately, the driver and 1 11-year-old lady from the Acura have been treated and discharged, thankfully. And so the people left are the 3 minors who were in the Jaguar. My sources tell me they are undergoing surgery, and I'm sure by now they are done with the surgery, and we are hoping that they should be able to make a quick recovery.
So what you're saying is the driver of the Jaguar and the other occupants of that vehicle all survived the accident?
They all survived the accident and are currently receiving treatment. Some of them, I don't know if all of them, are undergoing surgery. So I'm sure by now the surgery should be done and they should be able to make a quick recovery.
But this driver, there's been a lot of talk about that driver of the Jaguar being a minor. We are told it's a 16-year-old. The police has put out his name. We are told it is Salifu Amwako. There's no age put to it in the police statement. What do we know, at least from your preliminary investigations?
So our preliminary investigations truly confirm that, yes, he's a minor, because there are 2 males who were both 16 years old, and then 1 female who was 11 years old. So yes, it means that he is a minor, a 16-year-old boy.
And the occupants of the Acura that you talk about, that at least 2 have been discharged, and the others, at least we saw the charring of their bodies in the live feed, amongst others. Have we been able? What exactly is the extent of communication between the Ghana National Fire Service and the family involved in this particular incident?
Okay, so today our officers from Medina, they were the team that responded to the accident. They paid the operations officer and the commander for the station paid a visit to the hospital. Unfortunately, they couldn't get access to them, and both the family of the children of Salifu Amwako and then the occupants of the Acura, we couldn't get access to them because they were all receiving medical treatment. So we are giving them time, and then we'll definitely do our follow-ups to be able to get a conclusive and solid investigation at the end of the day.
So it's established that these children are that of the pastor that we know, Elisha Salifu Amwako?
Yes. Okay, so when our team got there, they had been rescued, so I didn't see them. So it was initial reports, and then based on follow-ups that we did, that confirms that that's the son of Salifu Amwako.
And what's been the reaction of the father or the parents of Salifu Amwako so far?
We haven't really been able to get close to them, because after we were more concerned with trying to get, because you can imagine how even distressing it is for officers to see charred body, and the fact that the bodies had melted onto the seats, and getting them off, you risk tearing their skin apart. That's how horrific it was. So we were concentrated on making sure that these people were safe, and then making sure that the other people that survived. So we haven't really been able to get enough from the family of Salifu Amwako, because when our officers visited the hospital, they were met with some resistance of a sort by their legal counsel. And so we are hoping that once the surgery is done, we should be having some cooperation from the legal counsel, from their counsel, so that we'll be able to make headway.
What's the resistance that you talk about? Why was there resistance from the legal counsel of Salifu Amwako's side?
So I think it's because they were now undergoing surgery, so I think they had wanted to, obviously they didn't want, he's a minor, so he can't engage any investigative body without the presence of a lawyer or the presence of an adult. And the fact that he was going into surgery, so I think that's where they were trying to make sure that after the surgery, then we will be able to have him in the presence of his counsel. So I won't say resistance of a sort, but I would say that we couldn't get to see him due to the circumstances at hand.
But I'm wondering, what's the level of collaboration between the Ghana National Fire Service and the Ghana Police Service? Because I'm seeing a very clear statement from the Ghana Police Service without details. At least you've been able to tell us the number of persons involved, the number of survivors, amongst others. But that statement does not give us so much.
Okay, so this is also to correct perceptions of Ghanaians that when there's an accident and human lives are involved, either dead or alive, that needs to be retrieved. It falls within the purview of the Ghana National Fire Service. So the police, as our colleagues, are just there to maintain law and order, and then we hand over the dead bodies to them. So the initial grounds was our grounds as the fire service to retrieve them and hand them over to the police. So I guess they are also doing their own investigation, and they also have their own modus operandi. But with that, based on our initial assessment as the first responders to the scene, that is why we are being able to give out this information. I'm sure they are also conducting their interviews because they would have to look at different angles in their investigation. They'll look at the criminal aspect of it. They'll look at the road traffic accident. Road traffic.
We get all that, but Mr. Nartey, it sounds as though we are having two key institutions running a parallel investigations on a same incident.
Oh, no, on that day...
Are you collaborating to start with?
We are collaborating to an extent, because on that day when it happened, we had the commander we had the police commander there, we had the police there, we had a very nice, healthy conversation at the scene, and we even had one of the police officers help us, carry one of the bodies. So we're having that collaboration, and so it's one of the things that we are working on, and at the district levels, we are working on it. So we can't come out with all the findings that we come, how we're working together. But truly, we have a very good working relationship with the Ghana National Police Service. We
are grateful. That's Alex Nartey, is a member of the Public Relations Department of the Ghana National Fire Service, giving us updates on that East Legon incident.